It's been a long week for Fresno FC, a trip through the Lone Star State, 3 matches in 7 days, but they're back at Chuck Chansey Park looking to remedy that after 2 losses back at home, looking for a home playoff clinching match, and it's against Tacoma Defiance. Here today, I'm Chris McCovic, alongside me, Ross Davenport, as we move into the heart of the playoff chase, Ross. Still the Western Conference so packed in the table.
Yeah, it's a complete mess between 4th and 9th, and plenty of movement still to be done there. But a win tonight would put Fresno on a real good path to that 2nd spot.
Fresno and Reno battling for 2nd and 3rd hosting rights in some matches down the line in the USL Championship playoffs, but maybe some players that can help affect that match here tonight. And we'll take a look at that in our own Akar Fresno pregame matchup. Own Akar Fresno, drive with style. And we're going to start with Chavez at the top of the formation. Once again, he has 12 goals this season.
Yeah, Jaime Chavez, the 32-year-old, he didn't actually break into the pros until he was 27, but he scored plenty of goals in his career for the Silverbacks, led Miami FC to an NPSL title with 9 goals there, and has that same amount of goals for Fresno since August 3rd, on fire right now.
He only had 1 goal last season with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and obviously a breakout year for him right now as a 32-year-old here in USL Championship. The youngsters of Tacoma Defiance, though, with a 20-year-old on the right wing, and Hopi out.
Yeah, this is a real talented young Hawaiian out of the academy. Actually made his Sounders full debut last month and scored a goal in the first meeting between these 2 teams, as well as a delightful one last week.
Has a few appearances as well for the Sounders at MLS, and 2 appearances in the last 2 years for them in the U.S. Open Cup. So an experienced player, spent the last 3 years with Seattle 2, and of course now with Tacoma Defiance. So coming up, Tacoma trying to play spoiler here in USL Championship. Can they keep Fresno off the board? Fresno trying to avoid their 3rd straight loss. They're back at Chuck Chansey, looking to break through and clinch a home playoff match. Welcome back here into Chuck Chansey Park here in Fresno, California. Again, I'm Chris McCovic, alongside me, Ross Davenport. Fresno and Tacoma doing battle. Fresno, with a win today, would clinch up a home playoff match in the upcoming playoffs. And a few weeks down the road, 3rd match in 7 days leads us into our starting 11s presented by El Mexicano. We begin, Ross, with the home side.
Yeah, 3 changes, and they're key because they're right down the spine of this Fresno team. Sam Strong comes in for the injured Ramon Del Campo, who is on the bench. We obviously have the experienced Juan Pablo Caffa in the middle, as well as Suleiman Samura.
Del Campo going down with an injury in the match against El Paso midweek, but turned out to be not so serious as initially thought. Good there for Del Campo, but he will be potentially coming off the bench here tonight. For Tacoma here, Ross.
Yep, 3 changes also for Tacoma. Nick Hines not in the lineup tonight at left back. Good to see him getting forward, but we won't see that tonight. We will have 2 teenagers at the fullback positions in the 17-year-old Villanueva and the 16-year-old Kitahara.
Yeah, the recent combo of Burkholz and Rogers along with that on the back line, but keep an eye for Hopial, as we mentioned, Ocampos, Chavez, both can really stretch things around Dylan holding the ball at the top. And Tacoma, not really anything to lose out there, Ross. They're looking for their first road win here in 2019, and really a tough test for the fatigue of Fresno after 3 matches in a week.
Yeah, no doubt there. We'll look at some of these keys to the matches. The one for Fresno, they really need to score first tonight. With all this travel, now 3 games in 8 days, they're really going to want to control the tempo and the narrative of this game. And the way to do that is by scoring first and being able to control things from the front. And for Tacoma, they got to defend these aerial crosses better. They allowed 3 goals against the first 3 goals against the Timbers a couple of games ago were all headers, and then the last goal against Tulsa last weekend was also a header.
A road to victory, of course, presented by Travel Shop. Now, our injury report brought to you by Physio Motion as we take a look at both sides. And the big one there, Ross, is Jackson, who unfortunately will probably miss the next few matches to end out the season.
Yeah, big loss there for the veteran.
Coming in there to replace him. We talked to head coach Adam Smith about it a little bit. A replacement in Devin Yao, who has played the last 2 of the last 3 matches and will maybe come off the bench here tonight. An experienced forward and winger, versatile at many positions from the lower leagues of the Bundesliga. Keep an eye on him potentially come off the bench later on as the match progresses.
Yeah, plenty of talent on this Fresno bench. Obviously trying to rotate players and keep them fresh. We'll see at what point Coach Adam Smith decides to make some changes this evening.
And we're off and running here from Fresno. Tacoma trying to play spoiler, and Fresno trying to right the ship. First time this season they've had back-to-back losses as they try to clinch a home playoff match here today with a win.
Yeah, it was a shame coming off that massive win, obviously, over Phoenix that ended their win streak. Adam Smith said he perhaps expected a bit of a down step after that victory, but he thought he should have got a point out of the San Antonio game. But 2-1 losses, not the end of the world, and they're still almost pretty much in control of their own destiny there in second place.
Coach Smith made a good point as we see the offsides here against Fresno. The way the week shaped out, they spent a majority of the week in the Lone Star State, a long bus ride as well between San Antonio and El Paso, of course, for Wednesday night soccer here in the USL Championship. And it forced the team not really to train so much ahead of this match here today. The preparation, not too much ahead of this one for Fresno, as they had to spend time recovering yesterday on Friday, which normally would be a training day, as Thursday they spent time traveling, which obviously is not considered a recovery day when you're crammed in to these travel vehicles.
Well, it's also about not sleeping in your own bed. I was listening today about the Raiders going to England this week, and they decided to go straight from Indy, where they played last week, and they were hoping that would help out, but still extra days that you're not getting to go home and sleep in your own bed, which for those of us that enjoy their own bed, and I'm sure most people do, that can make a big difference.
Knocked ahead, and it will come back with Atencio and Tacoma. Over the top, Dylan, a good run here. A good hold-up play with his build at the top at 6'3" for the center forward.
Yeah, he's a big physical presence, Justin Dillon, on a Sounders contract since June 24. Spent some time with Galaxy 2 and scored the 90th minute tying goal in the first meeting between these two teams, which was a very entertaining 3-3 draw.
Good look at CJ Cochran, former Georgia State player in his collegiate days. Notching 75 saves now in his 31 starts this season.
I was saying to you before this game, Chris, we did a League One game last week which featured 2 teams in very similar positions. Greenville Triumph, 3rd game in 8 games, really a 3rd game in 8 days, needing a win, playing a team with no wins on the road, a very young team, an affiliate team with plenty of talent, and OCB ended up winning that game. And Tacoma are very dangerous with that front 3, a lot of talent up there, 2 guys in the 20 under 20 to watch, and Campos Chavez and Hopial.
And Coach Smith was very concerned knowing what a full week of matches, this is their 3rd in the week, can do to his squad with the fatigue, and especially the young talent, very fresh here for Tacoma. They haven't played in a week. Giving up the ball at the back here to Kafa, and they'll move it down the right flank.
Yeah, Juan Pablo Kafa, somebody you don't want to give any set pieces anywhere around the box to. That man is a wizard when it comes to the free kicks.
That was the lone goal against El Paso earlier this week on Wednesday night soccer. Fortunately for Fresno, though, El Paso getting one late in front of the 8th notch, and El Paso a huge win as they continue to climb the table late. Try to get a key playoff spot down the stretch. Let's go back the other way on a throw-in. That's how crazy the West is right now, Ross. A few weeks ago, about a month ago, when I had the opportunity to do a match with Oklahoma City Energy. They were in the midst of the playoff hunt. They were number 4 on the table. Now they're outside looking in.
I mean, it's been crazy. I remember doing a game earlier this season, Orange County Phoenix, and even then the table was still a mess, and that was early, and now it's still, we're looking at the live table now, you've got 9 points separating 14th and 4th, which is 10 spots. So any of those teams, just go on a hot run, you could find yourself up in the playoff spots, especially with the extra spots this year.
Foul won by Chavez. Heading back the other way, there is head coach Adam Smith in his 2nd season. The former Sacramento assistant still dealing with that arm injury by his side. Tackle out of play, and a goal kick won for Fresno.
Nice tackle there by Kitahara. Had to play catch up a little bit, cleared the ball off the foot of Cooper.
Cooper, good run down the left flank for the Scotsman.
Yeah, both of these Fresno fullbacks love to get forward and get involved in that offense.
Here's another likes to get forward. Johnson swinging one in, headed up, still alive in the box. Tacoma trying to clear, second go of it. Lawal can't get one going. Knocked down by Martin and out of play. It's a corner kick here early on for Fresno FC. Fresno at home this year, really a fortress here in Chuck Chansey Park. 10-1-4. It's really improved in this campaign, and a road record at 6-6-4, helping them along to 2nd place right now in the West at 56 points. Toyota corner kick coming in. Nodded down, looking for the clearance is Leyva. Can't get there before Johnson. Worked in on the cross. Switching sides. Kafa, Martin. Kafa, 5 assists this season, trying to work a ball in. He cuts back around, great move there. Ball swung in, headed on, and just wide. Gifford nearly getting his first tally of the season. The Canadian couldn't convert.
Yeah, let's take another look at that one. A beautiful left-footed, well, it's actually being a right-footed cross on his weak foot by Kafa. Just a little bit more of a head on that, Gifford. That would have been in the back of the net.
Atencio was there, but did not make a play on the ball. He actually did not play in the draw 1-1 against Tulsa last week. Foul called, and it's back over to the away side. Of course, Tacoma, led by Chris Little in his 1st season, also works as the Sounders FC Academy Director of Coaching, a former Elon University head coach. Hopiau going down. He had the tying goal late in the 86th minute against Tulsa last week.
That was a classy finish, that goal by Hopiau. He just needed to get the touch on it, and it was just enough. And key point there. Trying to get out that final spot. They've still got a chance to not finish in the cellar.
Winless in their last 5. 4 losses before that draw against the Roughnecks. Ball down the field. This will trickle out of play. Another goal kick for Trey Muse, the Indiana keeper. The Sounders homegrown signing back in January.
Yeah, they've just been a little leaky defensively. Alex Burkhold, Sam Rogers at the back. They have their moments of madness at times, but again, very young players still advancing in this game. Dylan now, but giveaway there.
Daly also offering pressure towards the top, throwing on the far side now. Head official for tonight's match is Eric Tattersall. Out of play, and on the far side, a throw-in for Fresno. Ellis Hayden will take it, making his 28th appearance here in 2019. Very, very quick start to this one. Back and forth play, but slowing down a bit here. Lawal getting it towards the corner flag. He'll whip it in. Chavez there, hits it on, and just over the crossbar.
I wonder if Chavez had enough time to actually bring this down. I don't know how much. I'll have to take another look here and see how much space he had. It was going to be a Going to be a hell of a header if he was going to score from out there and coming back away. But yeah, that was good attention being paid there by Kitahara in the end.
This is what Fresno likes to do, working the wings. They've been able to do it so far. Tacoma yet to really stop them as the chances come swinging in.
And we said before this game that Fresno really needs that first goal. And they're coming out here looking for it in the first 9 minutes. There's no doubt about it.
Cochran out of the back will work it down the right side. Fire Squad and the Fresno supporters making this home again for Fresno on the road earlier this week for 2 matches, as we mentioned.
Final 2 games, we'll have a home game against the Galaxy 2 in Orange County, 2 points at the lower end of the playoff race. But Reno, who's sitting right behind Fresno, does have 2 very easy games to finish off at tonight. They're currently 0-0 with El Paso with about 7 minutes to go in that one, but they play Las Vegas Lights and Tulsa Roughnecks in their last 2 games, so Fresno would really like to not have to worry about what Reno does in those 2 games.
Well, it's kind of interesting. These teams that we thought were definitely going to finish bottom half of the table are now making these resurgent runs. Tacoma, not to that, but they are, have been at least a thorn in the side of some of these clubs, like Tulsa. Tulsa has seen some results of late, as Atencio trying to get out of the pressure, but won back by the Foxes. Had a play by Daly, and so throw-in on the near side for Fresno. Foxes tied 5th in goals in the Western Conference. 55 this season. Down the field. Knocked on forward, and Muse will clear it back the other way as far as Daly. Spin move, winning the foul is Ellis Hayden. It's a free kick at midfield for Fresno.
Yeah, Fresno definitely with the early edge here in the possession. Just trying to look to convert that into quality chances.
Lawal, right side. Passes it in. Martin on the run towards the end line. Plays it across, knocked down, and into the hands of Muse.
Lovely cutback cross there by Elijah Martin. Looking for Chavez, but he just couldn't make good enough contact on it to get it past Trey Muse, the 20-year-old in goal tonight for Tacoma.
Already 4 shots for Fresno, none on target to this point. Still nothing on the board for Tacoma here in minute 12.
One thing I always like to mention is even though Tacoma are out of obviously the playoff race, and so are some other teams, but you never know who's watching, especially now with the League One going to be expanding soon, and people are going to be looking to pick up players, especially the ones that might not be getting starting opportunities. You never know who's watching you.
You mentioned new clubs in USL League One. Omaha announcing their crest and name this week. There'll be another new face in League One headed into next season.
Yeah, they've already got their fan group name already, which is the Parliament, because that's what you call a group of owls, apparently. I love it. Big from England, obviously, especially.
Gefford back the other way. They also decided not to go with your choice for the name, which was the Omaha Omahas.
Peyton Manning is very disappointed.
Martin, right side. Here's Ellis Hayden. Getting some numbers forward are the Foxes. Ball sent in, Lawal there, missed there on the whiff. He keeps it alive. Another go of it. Deflected away by Daly this time. He's slow to get up, and a rocket of a shot goes out of play. And the air knocked out of the Australian. He'll be slow to get up.
It's a lovely stutter step here if we see it by Zach Ellis Hayden right there. Just completely threw off Alex Villanueva. Cross just kind of got caught up between legs, and Lawal was trying to open himself up for a shot, but it didn't come in the end. But lovely work down the right there by Zach Ellis-Hayden. He's a very talented player down that right side. He can also cut in and unleash shots as well. Seen him do that before.
Daly spending the majority of last season with Tacoma, 2 goals, 1 assist, and 22 appearances, but he started the campaign with Queensland Lions FC in Australia. There's Chavez, header up. Lawal's there, plenty of contact, but he'll hold the ball up anyway. Martin, quick turn. Back the other way. Here comes Tacoma on the break. Hopiao there. Gefford unable to make the stop. Enough pressure from Zamora to force it to the far side. Tacoma continues the attack. The Defiance end line. Ball sent over, but an easy grab out of the air by Cochran.
Yeah, can't be giving that ball away to these young kids in the final third. They'll send you getting back quickly the other way. And luckily, the Foxes had a few defenders back there to stuff out that attack by Hopiao.
Here's Cooper. Cochran, the former energy keeper, working it downfield. Go back to Ellis-Hayden. So far, Fresno, you have to say, is winning the physicality battle out there on the field against Tacoma. So taking a look at this foul.
Yeah, just a little too much action from behind by the youngster. Danny Leyva, only 16 years of age. He's a big lad for 16. Got to be able to compete at this level.
The youngest Sounders homegrown signing in club history. Back over to Cochran, and they'll work it out of the back.
You see Tacoma putting on the semi-press. They're not going to allow Fresno to get out of their own final third easily here. Plenty of young legs and young lungs out there that will run around for a good 90 minutes. And here we go.
Here comes Hopiao, top of the box, puts it on a platter, goes down Ocampos Chavez, and no foul called.
I think the referee Tattersall perhaps thought that Campos Chavez was looking for that foul. I thought he perhaps should have gone to his right and struck it with his right foot, but turned to his left and got himself in a bit of trouble. Take another look at it here. It was a nice little 1-2 in the end. May have been a bit of a decent amount of contact there. I've seen those being given. Sam Strong's got to be a bit more careful.
Little grab there by Sam Strong. He came off the bench when Del Campo went down injured on Wednesday.
Sam Strong just left that right leg hanging there. When you do that, there's always a chance the referee sees it. That time you just thought the contact was incidental, but Sam Strong's got to be more careful, as you can see. Coach Little still going on about that.
Martin, right flank. Ellis-Hayden a little bit more centrally. He'll try to get around here. He does it to the box, plays it across the wall, though, much deeper as he dropped back, and a foul there as he made the contact to Hopiao from behind.
You see, as players, if you see that the referee's going to allow a little more physical play, you're just going to see how far you can push him. We had a jersey tug in the box that didn't get called back, and then that was a little too much there by Lawal, but referee Tattersall is clearly going to let the boys play tonight.
It'll be Rogers getting set to take this free kick. A Seattle native at 20 years old. Cooper coming flying in, didn't make contact with Dillon though, wins the ball back for Fresno FC. There's Cooper, flicks it back into the box. Johnson on the run towards the end line, plays it over, and Daly, the deflection out of play, will stay as a throw-in just inside the flag. Chris Little, a special place in Ross's heart.
I wasn't going to mention it, but since you brought it up, was a member, was a youngster of the AFC Bournemouth Academy, my team.
Kaffa playing it towards the end line. No one making the run, and scooped up by Muse. So far, Fresno dominating the shot, 7-0, but just one of those on target to this point.
I think it's pretty much what we expected, but if Tacoma can weather the storm here and get a little confidence, perhaps create a couple of quality chances for themselves, they certainly won't be out of this game by any means. Again, they've had some rough results this season, but they've also want to play spoiler tonight. It's always the good part of having a 10-team playoff. Even your games down the stretch, if you're out of it, most of them are going to matter against teams in the mix.
Chavez, Kaffa, now Johnson on the left side. Johnson, another deflection from the left wing. This will go out off of Kitahara. We mentioned how young these two fullbacks are. Villanueva making his 4th appearance here overall in 2019. Kitahara, his 2nd start. And they have been welcomed by an onslaught of runners down these wings early on at Chuck Chansey.
I don't want to be mean to Juan Pablo Kaffa, but the two fullbacks for Tacoma, their ages don't even add up to his age. But their goal totals also don't add up to Juan Pablo Kaffa's career goal totals. He's a legend.
Here comes Fresno once more. Ellis Hayden, end line, deflected. And Atencio making a last-second challenge there to knock it out for a throw-in.
Yeah, Zach Ellis Hayden just continues to be a menace down that right side. You have to think at some point he's going to get a quality cross in, or even a scoring chance himself.
Here comes Tacoma putting on the Jets. Campo Chavez down the left side, but Leyva trying to hold it up. Tacoma at this point trying to get some possession work going. Here's Dillon. Still Dillon in the corner, and looks like offsides was the call, bringing this back after a few moments. Rogers will get us going again with Tacoma. Kitahara, Sounders Academy player. Try to stretch things down the field, but Cochran will let this go out. And it's a goal kick for Fresno. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Select ball rolling back over with Strong. They'll bat it downfield here at Chuck Chansey Park. Chavez into the box, fighting through, ricocheted, and this rolling just the right away for Muse. He collects it and launches it downfield.
It was a beautiful play by Sam Rogers. My heart was in my throat for a second there because it looked like he was about to put it in his own net, but Jaime Chavez had the side of Sam Rogers, but he stood up strong, and it was a great sliding tackle. Luckily that grass is a little long there at Chuck Chansey, otherwise that ball might have rolled even a little closer to that far post, but it was obviously going wide, and from that angle you can tell.
The 6'4" keeper Muse, big body in there, former Big Ten goalkeeper of the year as well here now for Tacoma. And the last matchup between these two sides, very frustrating for Adam Smith and his side. A 3-3 draw with Tacoma scoring late on to equalize. That's what Tacoma can do. They can keep going for 90 minutes. And here, a free kick won by that same side.
Jesse Daly is very upset about something. Perhaps he won't have the card. Could stop the fast break, perhaps. May have a point.
Another look here at the foul as they reset the ball.
It was pretty shoulder to shoulder, but the arm was extended.
Tacoma on the attack the other way into the box. Met by Ellis Hayden. Won by the Fresno defense. Not far enough, though, on the clearance. And line Villanueva putting it in. And cleared away by Martin.
The final score from Reno, nothing in that matchup with El Paso. So Fresno have a chance to extend their lead over that third place Reno with a win here.
Tacoma setting up some possession here, a minute 25.
Make it a 5-point lead if they could win this one with 2 matches to go. So I think their magic number just 1 or 2, you would have to think.
Last time Fresno was at home, they were obviously celebrating a playoff clinching win over Phoenix Rising and ending the Rising win streak. Something Adam Smith called to us the highs and lows of the game of soccer after that 2 straight losses, and maybe feeling the emotion of that win and how much it meant to them. Obviously, their first playoff appearance coming up and their USL championship tenure.
Yeah, they were really good at home last season. It was just their away form that really killed them. If they'd played even half decently away from home last season, they would have had a playoff appearance in their first ever season. But they might need to score some goals tonight. The goal difference, they're only 3 ahead of Reno. So it may come down to that in the end.
Cochran getting set to send this down the field.
Of course, the first tiebreaker is wins. So they're both tied at 16 at the moment in that department. So getting the win tonight, they'll be 1 ahead of Reno. And it'll be hard for Reno to, as we said earlier, Reno do have a bit of an easier couple of games down the stretch. Here's Chavez now.
What a strike, but point blank at Muse, and he gets the save.
Yeah, good left-footed strike with the outside of the boot. Muse had to be on his toes. Almost one of those ones where they got that sneaky shot away.
Just the 3rd shot on target so far for Fresno out of their 9 shots to this point.
Ouch.
Back to the tiebreaker. It's one thing I wanted to get your thoughts on at some point. We're seeing a trend in American soccer more towards the tiebreaker going to wins and then goal differential instead of goal differential where it is mostly in Europe. Is there a pro or con to that? I guess the more offensive team doesn't get as much credit at that point.
Listen, I like having wins first. I mean, it's where you get the most points. And yeah, goal difference, it can be really skewed by a couple of games against bad teams. Obviously, the schedule isn't completely balanced. Well, at least not in League One. Obviously, you're playing some teams. You're playing 3 times, and twice at home, once away. And I like the wins.
Burkholz getting a hold of that one, sending it out of play off his own teammate though, and it's back the other way to Fresno.
It's a little easier to be against it in the championship just because every team plays every other team home and away. But with 10 teams, as we saw with another great. Ooh, dear. That's going to be the yellow card there.
Ellis Hayden going down. And it will be a booking against Villanueva, and that will be his first in his USL championship tenure.
Yeah, we knew coming in the 17-year-old was going to have a hard time with Zach Ellis Hayden down this left side, and just left his feet. It was clumsy. Didn't even touch the ball.
A 51-50 energy drink yellow card has been shown.
He had help from behind him, which is the frustrating thing. He didn't really need to do that. This just comes with communication and playing with guys you're not used to playing with on a consistent basis.
I feel like he signaled early as well to Ellis Hayden and his body language. He was coming out aggressive, looking for that challenge. And obviously, if you're the player, you can lean right into that and get the foul as well.
Sure.
Kafa on the end of this one. Last time we saw him on a free kick, it was on the right side, but a little bit deeper. He scored a goal against El Paso on Wednesday.
Trey Muse has got to be careful. I wouldn't be surprised if Juan Pablo Cafu tried to sneak one past him at the far post.
Sneaky tight angle, some options at the top of the box. We'll see where he goes. Whips it in, strong there, heads it down, but Muse once again, right place, right time for the save.
Yeah, good delivery from Kaffa, floated in there towards the back post. Sam Strong rose up well, and it was well defended though in the end by Justin Dillon. Obviously not known for his defending being a center forward, but he had himself in the right position to take some of the power off that header.
Back the other way. Here in minute 30, it was early all Fresno running up and down the wings, but since then Tacoma taking back a bit of control. The longer, obviously, they can keep it at 0-0. Better chance in this match on the road. Knocked on through. Gifford is there, though, and back over to Cochran.
Almost a lovely touch there by Danny Levin, just the other side of Dillon. If it had been the other side of him, that was a golden scoring chance.
The final playoff spots are at stake October 9th when Wednesday Night Soccer returns to ESPN News. Tune in as Birmingham Legion FC fights for the last spot in the East, while upset-minded Hartford Athletic looks to crush those hopes in front of their home faithful. Dillon in the box, going right side, the strike, and curls it home. What a run by Dillon. And he puts it up and in. The surprise start for Tacoma, and it ends in a goal. 1-0 to the Defiance.
Lovely bit of composure by the big man, Justin Dillon. He got the ball in a nice spot, but had plenty of work to do. Taking another look at the second here is Coach Chris Little. Has to be happy about that one and gets the early goal. Well, not the early goal, but 30-minute goal. And here's another look at it. Lovely header, and he just shrugged off Sam Strong, who slipped, unfortunately. Still had plenty of work to do here to do a nice bit of footwork and a solid left-footed finish. Quality strike.
Number 11 on the season for the big man up top. And Kaffa coming back and covering there, and maybe in the end halting some of where the defensive positioning could go. As Dillon slots that home, a great run by him, and it's 1-0 to the away side.
Sometimes people that don't know soccer look at that bit of footwork that Dillon did there and say, why does he do that? But it just threw James Gerfrod off a little bit and allowed that extra space to strike that left-footed shot. Nice goal.
What a move by Hopiao, but he loses possession as well. Martin on the run, but a bit too far as it rolls the other way.
This is really going to force Fresno now to come out of their shell, and that should open things up a little bit more for Tacoma going the other way.
Again, Eastern Conference action coming in the next edition of Wednesday Night Soccer, coming up on Wednesday the 9th, and it will be Birmingham and Hartford going at it, again on ESPN News. And Hartford out of contention at this point, but Birmingham certainly trying to squeeze in there in one of the final playoff spots in the Eastern Conference. Cooper back over, and now Fresno obviously trying to respond. Tacoma yet to have a road victory here in 2019. They're 0-12-3. Handball, and back the other way in favor of the Foxes. Face two teams in the middle of the playoff hunt as well in the final two matches. Next Saturday against Los Dos, and then final weekend of USL Championship regular season at Orange County. Shot coming, looked like it was off of Lawal, and indeed it was. Goal kick to Trey Muse.
When you have a team this young, it's going to be all about confidence. You go on the road, especially when you're a teenager like that. It's a very new experience for a lot of these kids. Going up a goal like this, that'll give them all the confidence in the world for this final 57 minutes.
They've had 5 goals scored in the last 5. They've given up 19 though, and maybe another here. Lawal back the other way, top of the box. Kaffa up, flicks it up, but nothing building in the end as the angle was held in check as Lawal got the steal.
Well, that was one of those unfortunate moments of madness by Sam Rogers we talked about earlier, but got away with it. Teammates helped him out, got back quickly. Just got to be a little more careful with the possession in your own third.
Whiff there as the ball will go out of play, throwing for Fresno. Soccer is really an amazing game. Fresno, 10 shots, 4 on target, 1 shot on target, 1 shot by Tacoma. That's the goal.
Just how it goes sometimes, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for Tacoma. All it takes is that 1 ball into the box and a slip, and a quality striker like Justin Dillon, you'll finish him like that.
Back to Cochran as they reset. Leyva working it down the field. Dillon on the run, heads it on, but trickles out of play on the near side. Easy foul call there on the push from behind on the Australian.
Yeah, veteran move from Juan Pablo Kaffa there. He felt the contact from behind and may have gone down a little easily, but you're going to get that called 9.9 out of 10 times, especially when you're the wily veteran that he is.
Tacoma does have a very good record when scoring first this season, 4-1-3. Only have 1 comeback victory and 2 comeback draws on the campaign. Offsides, the flag was up anyway. This will be brought back in favor of Tacoma. Burkholz fixing up his boot a bit there. 3rd round pick for the Sounders in the 2019 Super Draft. They're spending time at San Diego State, but met the Sounders organization in his time with the Sounders U23 in USL League 2 back in 2016. Opiao after it, but he'll get the benefit of the touch out of play by Fresno. Back out, another throw-in for Tacoma as Kitahara works the near flank, the 16-year-old of the Sounders Academy.
Alex Cooper was not happy with that call, to say the least. He was giving the linesman a good Scottish mouthful.
Burkholz. Chavez working down center midfield. He goes down. No foul called. Fresno back the other way. Here come the Foxes on the run. Through ball ahead. Cooper was there, but so too was Rogers. Opiao getting the deflection. The throw went in the final third for the Defiance, and they have looked really good since the opening 10 minutes. Here's Leyva. Villanueva going down. Chavez looking for Lawal, but covered fairly well by the Tacoma defense as Johnson takes over left side. Jersey native, moving it centrally.
see Suleiman Samura get a lot more involved in this game. I just saw him on the field, and it seems like almost the first time I've seen number 16 touch the ball.
Cooper working on back. Zamora actually playing at the early part of the season with the Laredo Heat, one of the top NPSL clubs, of course, in the Lone Star State. Spent last year with the U23 squad for Fresno. Joined Fresno FC on July 19th, excuse me. There's the Fire Squad keeping the momentum going despite a 1-0 deficit on the Dillon tally.
Bit of nonsense going on around the penalty spot. Referee's going to have a word with, look like Chavez and Rogers.
Trying to calm the tensions here at Chuck Chansey Park early on. Will be a free kick for Tacoma when we resume. Enough's enough, says Eric Tattersall, and we're back underway. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Best value in sports, Chris. Did you catch any sprint football this weekend? We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago.
I actually turned it on for a few moments this morning to check it out, and it's football, but everyone's a bit leaner than me, to say the least.
Yeah, just like 2 weeks ago, I'm still not eligible.
Ocampo Chavez down the left side. Ball floated in and headed away by Geffard. See where this goes out of play, and it is a throw-in in the end.
Yeah, Tacoma have definitely played their way back into this game. The first 25 minutes or so, they were definitely the second best side, but since the goal, they've looked very lively, getting that confidence building.
Tahara into Dillon. Kafa. Argentine servicing the right flank. That's where Martin is. Lawal trying to find an opening. He's been held in check fairly well by Tacoma's defense to this point.
I wonder if Juan Pablo Kafa was a little disappointed that his Argentinian rugby team was beaten by my English team in the Rugby World Cup early this morning. Big sport down in Argentina, definitely number 2, obviously behind soccer, but rugby. Argentina, one of the better teams in the Southern Hemisphere.
What time was that game at?
It was 3 a.m. Eastern, so I've had 2 naps today.
That's what I was going to ask you.
But listen, only every 4 years, got to be done.
True rugby fan. Cooper, Johnson, up and out of play. Fresno continuing the attack, trying to equalize just before the halftime break.
And this is where the youngsters, sometimes that's when you're a teenager, your focus can slip a little bit, looking towards halftime and getting some drinking and food in you. As he comes out, it's Cooper now.
Cooper, good look here into the box, top of the box. Martin's there. Can't find a look, though. Ellis Hayden now right side. Shot coming, and just wide of the mark, but he did get the deflection. Corner kick coming for Fresno.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that Zach Ellis Hayden can be a danger when he wants to cut back in. That was try to cut back in, and at least that right-footed shot just wide. It was one of those ones where the fans down the other end might have thought it had gone in, and yeah, definitely got a touch on it, did Trey Muse.
In fact, a save there at the near post by Muse.
Yeah, it was probably going wide, but when you're a keeper at that near post, you really can't make a decision at the last second. You can't risk pulling your hands away. It was offside there on Cafa.
Chavez rose for that header, couldn't get to it, and Strong was there as well, but batted away once more by Tacoma. Tacoma just 2 clean sheets this season. They're tied for fewest in the Western Conference. Out of play, and we'll continue back the other way. Burkholz down the left flank. Campos Chavez working his way through the Fresno defense. Here comes Tacoma. Villanueva. Villanueva works it in there, but jumping up and grabbing it is Cochran. We are hearing 1 minute of stoppage time from the sideline here at Chuck Chansey Park.
Yeah, no, very impressive first 45 minutes for the youngsters from the Northwest. They were first 20 minutes they were under the cosh, but hung on, and then got the goal from this man here. Looks like he'd be in line for another one.
Moves it out left side. Shot coming, deflected up and away. It was a Campos Chavez with the shot. The point blank into Ellis Hayden. It's a corner kick for Tacoma at the death of the first half.
You can see Justin Dillon's worked hard these first 45 minutes, hands on knees, but he'll be the target on this one. An interesting setup by Tacoma here, so they're lined up with the super late runs. They come now.
Whipped in, headed down. It looked like Dillon had a touch, but it'll be Fresno coming out of the box with it. Tacoma, one last attack maybe. Villanueva, left side, working against Martin. Tahara. Atencio. And that will do it for the first 45. It's Tacoma up 1-0 at the break. Dillon with a great run into the box, and he sliced it home with a curler.
Yeah, Fresno had the much more energy in the first 20 minutes, but perhaps started to feel those legs in the second half of that first half, and need to get some goals on the board if they want to continue this run towards the second spot.
More coverage coming from Chuck Chansey Park next. 1-0 Tacoma at the break. Yes, we used it downstairs for my Welcome back here into Chuck Chansey Park, and with all the excitement behind the playoff chase here in USL Championship, terrible news, Ross, coming out of the Austin Bold camp with the unfortunate passing of Promise Isaac. Not only, obviously, a great player, great representation of the USL Championship, but also an incredible player, very gifted man.
Yeah, sometimes we have a tendency to see these professional athletes as sort of superhuman, but then something like this really all brings it back down to earth and realize just how fragile life is. Very unfortunate situation.
So, of course, our thoughts and prayers with the Austin Bold family and obviously anyone that has been touched by Promise Isaac in his life here on this earth, and an unfortunate passing here for the USL Championship as we head down the playoff stretch.
Long-range effort, oh, that's spectacular! From distance, and it's a goal! That's a great save, Van Oekel. That's it for Athletic!
Hamilton back out wide. Chance to put this in the penalty area. Chance, a goal! Devin Sandoval brings them to their feet in Albuquerque. A minute to play. Dia puts it in. Definitely headed away. Shot comes in. It's 2-2. Oh, can you believe it? From 2-0 down, Phoenix are level.
Making the run, Mo Hernandez, edge of the box. Hernandez, great move, gets free. Hernandez! Gives SAFC the lead!
I told you the big man was feeling it tonight.
Low into the middle.
Oh, good shot!
Goes right, gets the shot away, score! Nowhere to go for Lorendi.
Back in the middle looking for Cox, trying to set up a shot, and it finds the corner! We're level at 2, and all of a sudden, game on here in Tucson! This is in the middle, looking for Ramos. Bingo! It's off the hands of Hara and in! The opening goal for Toronto FC 2.
Moafe lofts it. Boateng on the run. Boateng back in the net. Charles Boateng is first in league play.
To send it in. Headed away, couldn't get by the first man. Bermudez might come away with it, and he does! And there's nobody in goal! Greenville are going to score, and they're going to the playoffs! Greenville and Chris Bermudez!
Welcome back here into Chuck Chansey Park, getting set to look at news and notes from around the USL Championship. Of course, 1-0 in favor of Tacoma at the break. Kind of a surprising scoreline at this point. But looking around the USL Championship, East a packed slate in the standings, and of course, similar to the West.
Yeah, having these 10 playoff spots available has made things super fun. They're down here to the end, only a couple of weeks left now, and yeah, the West has been absolutely crazy since almost the first month.
An incredible run of late for Orange County. That's where Fresno will finish off their campaign at Orange County, and their streak came to an end, but getting right back into the hunt. Of course, Eastern Conference is where we'll be for Wednesday Night Soccer coming up Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN News. Taking a look at the scoreboard from around the USL Championship, a good slate of action from tonight. Included in there is Orange County over OKC, and Phoenix Rising not missing a beat. Of course, up 3-1.
Yeah, just doing the same old thing, and yeah, good to see OCSC trying to get another win streak started.
Of course, we mentioned Reno and El Paso 0-0 in that one, but Tulsa again, just like Tacoma, making some noise. 2 goals against Sacramento. In the Western Conference standings, we talked about it. Of course, Phoenix well above at the top, but Fresno and Reno battling for second or third. That draw helps out Fresno a little bit. They need a win nonetheless tonight to clinch a home playoff a match, and nonetheless, where that is, that's the whole determination. But Real Monarchs sitting there with a few matches in hand as well.
Yeah, we got a big match going on right now, just below these with these top 10 spots here. San Antonio 11th, taking on Las Vegas right now. Vegas winning that one 3-1 at the moment.
Yeah, Vegas has been a fun team. They took Phoenix to the wire as well, nearly ended that win streak, of course, but they're still below the line. El Paso, of course, also making the run. They're up at 46 points now. In our match, though, kind of a surprise at this point. Fresno trying to avoid their third straight loss. We'll see what they do in the second half. Coming up, we'll have highlights and stats next. 1-0 off the Dillon tally in the first half.
and related disorders. Madera Strikers FC. Now time for some special birthday shout-outs. Happy 10th birthday, Ethan. Happy 16th birthday, Sam.
At the half, it's 1-0 Tacoma. Here at Chuck Chansey Park, Fresno trying to break away from this recent losing skid, but fortunately, first 45 not going their way as we get set for our highlights from the first half here. As Fresno came out, Ross looked fantastic the first 15 minutes, and then it was all Tacoma.
Yeah, as I said, I mentioned in the keys to the game that Fresno really wanted that first goal, and that was they were almost close to getting it there with Gaffard. It's deflected Herod, well, not deflected, but trying to think of the word for it. I guess it was deflected off his head. He didn't quite get enough of it.
Lawal would add to it with this ball in. Chavez a chance as well.
It almost looked like it went off his shoulder on the second look. Let's take another one look at it. I can't really tell from there, but it almost went off his shoulder. Still half a chance. Here, ball just got kind of caught up between legs here, and they couldn't get a decent shot off. But yeah, they seem to be camped outside, camped in that box for the first 15, 20 minutes or so. The Tacoma defense just soaked it up and waited for their chance, and they got it.
Giveaway at the back from Cochran.
Yeah, looking for the penalty there. Perhaps if he had gone to his right, can't push 70, he might have had a better chance at a shot. It was a bit clumsy in the end from Sam Strong, and as you can tell, Chris Lilla wanted the call but didn't get it.
Hughes here nearly knocking it into his own goal.
Yeah, it was almost an accidental chance, but you can see most of these are just half chances from Fresno. Nothing real concrete to force Trey Muse into anything really super. And here was the goal. It was a lovely lofted ball over the top, and Sam Strong just really got outstrung, I would say, and Dillon with a beautiful left-footed finish.
Gorgeous one for his 11th of the season. His power up top and sliding it home with plenty of room. So that brings us to our halftime stats. All Fresno, if you show this without the scoreline, you say they're on top, but no, that one shot on target enough for the 1-0 lead for Tacoma.
Yeah, 12 shots and 5 of them on target, as you said, Chris, but not too many quality chances. And the possession stats pretty even. Fresno, I think they're 27th in the league in passes cleared. Don't particularly like to have the ball, as you can see. Didn't have a whole lot more possession than Tacoma did, but just taking advantage of those chances inside the box, and that's what Tacoma did.
Been a really rough week for Fresno. Their third match this week. They have 2 losses, both 2-1. This is their remaining schedule. 2 teams hungry in this Western Conference hunt.
Yeah, OC not quite secure in their playoff spot just yet, but looking pretty good at the moment in 5th. But LA Galaxy really fighting for their playoff lives in 9th at the moment.
Yeah, Los Dos will be next on the docket here at Chuck Chansey Park next weekend, and then a visit to Orange County to finish off the regular season. Tacoma on the other side, they do have 3 matches remaining. It will be the Switchbacks, then a tough visit to Isotopes Park before hosting Austin Bold to finish out the campaign.
Yeah, battle for the basement there with Switchbacks coming into this one just a couple of points ahead of Tacoma. Interesting to see who can secure that 17th spot. Still might have a shot at 16th if they can overtake Tulsa as well.
Well, Switchbacks as well making a big signing in terms of head coach Alan Koch being brought in from his FC Cincinnati days to start the year.
Yeah, interesting signing there. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Colorado in this offseason.
Chavez at midfield again, 1-0 to Tacoma as Dylan took control of that opportunity from the right side, drove in and made it count. And this is one thing that head coach Adam Smith was worried about entering this match, the 3rd match in a week, how much fatigue would set in against a young squad, very fresh, has not played since last week. And so far, it's been that storyline. Fresno out of the gates running, but haven't seen much since then in Tacoma. The fresh legs showing through an entire 45 minutes.
Yeah, you have to think Adam Smith will be quick to pull the trigger if this result stays this way for the next 15 minutes or so. There's had plenty of options on the bench.
Chavez had 1 chance in the first half from his head, the other on the right side of the box, but a trickling save by Muse. As we get set for the second 45, Fresno 10-1-4 at home. Tacoma still in search of their first road victory here in 2019. They're hoping it will come here on the foot of Dylan and maybe adding a second here in the second half. Head official Eric Tattersall.
Like the white whistle matches the Tacoma jerseys.
Chavez gets us going here for the second half. 1-0 to the Defiance. Again, I'm Chris McCovic alongside me, Ross Davenport. Happy to have you with us here wherever you're watching. Fresno, California, as it's out of play and an early goal kick for Muse.
Tell Tacoma already here want to start the second half with as much pace as they possibly can. Really take the wind out of these Fresno sails, excuse me.
Ellis Hayden, he'll work it on back. And early on, it was working for Fresno, working those flanks, getting the ball into the final third and swinging it in. They just could not find the right finish in the middle of the box as Chavez was slow to get up there for a second. Martin out wide. Here's Cooper launching up the left wing. Cooper towards the final third. Puts the ball in, but headed away on a diving stop. Martin dribbling through traffic, through ball, Lawal there, cuts it back over, but halted in its tracks.
Yep, nice diagonal run there by Lawal and a nice pass to find him. Just couldn't get that cross in.
Through the legs of Villanueva, and out of play by Muse, who barreled over Lawal. It's a throw-in on the near side.
Almost an awful giveaway. Luckily, Zach Aliseda wasn't really on his horse.
Scooped in, knocked away on the volley. Fresno seeing some possession, threatening in the final third.
You have to be sure that Adam Smith at halftime told his boys to got to match the intensity of these teenagers. They have to come out quickly here as well, Fresno, in these first couple minutes.
Ellis Hayden the strike, but just sailing over.
seem to remember Zach Ellis Hayden cracking one from about this distance a couple of years ago. And this was a quality strike with the right outside of his right foot, but it was always rising. Didn't really worry Trey Muse in the end.
Ball still was in play. It finally went out.
These two have been going at it since the first half. And no love lost, clearly.
No look here. The ball was out of play. They kept going, though.
I'm not sure what Ocampo Chavez was trying to do other than annoy Zach Ellis Hayden. He succeeded.
That push might have been good for a yellow card, but just the right timing of Ellis Hayden dropping down to get the ball that the push was missed. Either way, we're back underway. Opie out, through ball. Dylan flicks it on, but just wide, looking for that brace.
Initially, when this ball was played through, I didn't think Justin Dillon had a chance of getting it, but he took a couple of small steps. He's got big strides, but he had to shorten his step down. Got to that ball before Cochran did, taking another look at it. Lovely weighted through ball. It looked like it was a little too hard at first, but it's a great scoring chance just wide of Cochran's goal. As a keeper, you're on your back there, just looking over your shoulder to hope that goes by that far post, and it did. Could easily be 2-0.
Tacoma hasn't had a ton of opportunities, but they've taken them with stride when they do. Here comes Cooper the other way with Fresno. Chavez, top of the box. Knocked back the other way, though. Leyva. Martin keeps it alive.
Yeah, Chavez's first touch just let him down a little bit there. He was looking to knock it sort of into his scoring, shooting path there, and it just came off the bottom of his boot a little hard.
Gaffa, and back through the back line of Fresno. "13 shots, just 5 on target for Fresno. Ellis Hayden. Shot coming off the crossbar. Another go of things, and Muse will have a message for his defenders here in the 51st.
I know Tacoma's not hearing me, but they perhaps should have known exactly what Zach Ellis Hayden can do when he cuts in like this. What a strike that just hits the corner of the stanchion, and Trey Muse was well beaten. See him yelling at his defenders to close that space down a little bit quicker. Certainly been a contender for goal of the week had it had gone in.
Speaking of scoring, keeping an eye around the Western Conference, Phoenix and Portland have 7 combined goals now all of a sudden. It was all Phoenix when we hit halftime. Now suddenly a bunch of goals flying in, and that's really a tight battle now.
We saw Portland put 6 past Tacoma. We know they can score. Yeah, all sorts of goals flying in, own goals, red cards.
Yellow card there for Samora. The tackle, and it will be a free kick for Tacoma. Trainers waved on. His second yellow since joining Fresno.
Yeah, just clumsy there from Samora. No real intent to injure. Just stuck his foot out and stopped the attack, though. And, yeah, maybe a bit of a harsh yellow, but you can tell his reaction to that.
So Campos Chavez down, and he's been such a threat to this point for Tacoma. But at this point, from what you see, is there anything Fresno can change in their tactics? It seems they're getting the opportunities, they just can't find a man in the box.
Yeah, Jaime Chavez has been striking a very lone figure inside that box. They haven't been able to get him the ball. As you can see, Zach Ellis Hayden finding space in those channels. That's where that Fresno really needs to attack. Perhaps a change off the bench may help them in that. You think Juan Pablo Caffa perhaps might need some fresh legs to replace him in the next 10-15 minutes or so.
Free kick. Burkholz will take it. Dillon holding up the ball at top of the box, spin move. And keep it alive though as it's knocked downfield. Advantage played for now. Burkholz plays it back, but this coming back after the upend on the other side. There was no advantage played, and the yellow card again comes out of the pocket. It's Jesse Daly into the books for the 8th time this year.
51-50, the energy drink of Fresno.
Yeah, it's just silly from Jesse Daly. The ball was long gone and no need for that. Reckless is the word.
And I think Tacoma's doing what you need to do in this situation. You're clearly the underdog. You're up 1-0 on the road in the second half. And they are really frustrating Fresno, whether they're fouling on their own accord or they're just being a thorn in the side with the pressure up top.
Yeah, they're not letting up. That's what you can't do when you get a 1-0 lead. You can't let up, especially when you're on the road. Keep the pressure on. Exactly what Tacoma's doing now. Here they come again.
Campo Chavez, left side of the box. He'll take a go at it. Shot coming straight off of Cochran. And the second go of it back with Fresno. Strong to Martin. Trapped pretty well though by Leyva. Point blank chance, but it went straight into the chest of Cochran.
Just taking a look at that chance by Campo Chavez. Sam Strong was given in the left-footed shot. Got the space, and it was a good save in the end, although it was right at him. Good positioning by Cochran. Campo made great contact on it. Just had to go either side of Cochran, and that would have found the back of the net.
Atencio was there as well, but this deflected look right back with Fresno. Dillon. Villanueva. And Tacoma will take it out of the back. Over the top, Atencio, but can't find a Campo Chavez. And it's back with Fresno. Cooper down the left flank. He's held in check, though, by Atencio.
He's been a real engine up and down that left wing, Alex Cooper. Seems like Fresno almost targeting that left side. See if they can find an opening.
Goffa will try it over the top. In the final third, the wall's there, but so is the offside flag up. We're hearing a substitution coming up for Tacoma as well. The next stoppage of play. That was offsides number 6 in tonight's match for Fresno. Campo Chavez, left side, driving centrally. Burkholz. Now Daly. Oh, good run here from Daly, getting around. Martin goes down. No foul, we play on.
Yeah, Jesse Daly not complaining too much. I thought perhaps he got a little hard done by, but he had a much better view than I did.
Daly. Villanueva. Knocked up out of play. Who's it off of? And it will be a Tacoma throw-in as it deflected off of Strong. Campo Chavez working it in. Leyva couldn't get there, though. The wall stopping it. Tahara trying to get out of there. Leyva. Daly. Flicked ahead, good look coming. Hopiau's there, headed away by Strong. No whistle blown.
Sam Strong's got to be careful. He's obviously a very physical player, but when you come into somebody from their back like he did there in the box, there's a good chance you're going to give away a penalty at some point.
Adam Smith dictating things here. Lawal wanted a quick restart instead. It's Ellis Hayden that will take it.
He's going to have a very tired right arm tonight, Adam Smith. Ball by Kafa.
Finds Cooper. Getting around Dillon, who's on that right side defending. He has a good stop on the block. Now go out of play, and that's a corner kick for the Foxes.
It was a delightful ball by Kafa, floated over there to find Cooper. And well defended, as you said, Chris, by Justin Dillon, not finding himself in an unfamiliar position. Did well enough not to give away a free kick in a dangerous position, but it will be a corner instead. This man can put him on a dime.
Ball sent in, headed down by Lawal, but outside of the box, Chavez retrieving it. Flicked up ahead, but out of play off the signage. That's a goal kick for Tacoma. Player down for the Defiance.
Sam Rogers, perhaps?
No look here at the chance.
Yeah, decent header there by Lawal. Again, just couldn't get enough of it to direct it towards goal, and then Chavez a bit of a waste in the end.
Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Hughes back out there looking for this goal kick. Tacoma is awaiting a substitution, but with the injury, trying to wait to see what happens. And it will be Gonzalez coming on in the end, in the stead of Hopiau, which is an interesting choice for Tacoma. He's been strong out there, of course.
Yeah, interesting in that Azra Gonzalez is more of a left-sided player. I haven't seen him on the field since mid-June. See what kind of change the Defiance make.
Gonzalez bringing with him 2 goals, 2 assists this season in 15 appearances.
Looks like Gonzalez will just slot it on that right side for now.
We'll see how this Defiance shape takes form.
He did start a good chunk of games in the first half of the season. A couple of goals, a couple of assists.
Knocked on Chavez there, but Burkholz sweeping the ball away.
Sam
Throwing
Rogers,
on the near side.
Yeah, Sam Rogers very upset. He wanted to pull on his jersey. We'll take another look at it here. Yeah. Yes, he definitely pulled it back. And the referee should have perhaps seen that one. That was a clear pull back. And luckily, Burkholz was there to swipe it off the toe of Chavez.
Leyva through ball left side. Ocampo Chavez almost there, but Martin picking it away. Try out the left flank. It's gonna be right side of the box as Johnson through the traffic. What a move by Johnson. Ellis Hayden, left foot, strikes it, but knocked away by Burkholz. Another great stop.
I thought Jamal Johnson made the wrong decision there when he cut back to his left. I thought perhaps he should have gone with a cross to his right foot, but take another look at it here. Lovely first touch, and then the nutmeg action. Ellis Hayden Key block there. I think it was by Burkholz.
If it got through, it looks like it would have been an easy save from Muse anyway, but leaving Ellis Hayden that wide open with his power on his shot, asking for something.
Definitely.
Campo Chavez moving centrally.
Yeah, this game's really opened up now in the last 5 minutes. Team's pushing some more bodies forward, especially Fresno.
Leyva. Villanueva. Out of play. A throw in for Fresno. Nope, back to Tacoma. Leyva. Ball swept in, back post, headed on, centrally. Dillon's there, and Dillon finishes it. A brace for Justin Dillon, and Tacoma leads 2-0 on the road.
It was almost a slow motion goal. It was a beautifully floated ball over by Danny Leyva, a lovely header, and everything just kind of stood still. And Justin Dillon took full advantage and gets the second goal of the night. Wow.
Watch this build up, as Ross said, just gorgeous.
Yeah, the two youngsters combining Ocampo Chavez and Sam Strong just caught a little flat-footed there, trying to get his left foot to it, didn't, and an easy finish in the end for Dillon. But impressive stuff from the young kids from Tacoma. You can see the Fresno are really missing Ramon Del Campo back there tonight. We talked about those 3 changes up the spine of that defense in the midfield, and that's really where Tacoma have taken advantage of Fresno tonight.
Tacoma putting up 2 on Fresno. They lead 2-0, looking to make it more. For Chavez, Dillon on the near side. He's found number 11 and 12 of the season tonight. Dillon spending the last 2 years with Los Dos. Near foul on Fresno. It's Ellis Hayden on the near side, and Tacoma has a set piece. We're hearing a sub is getting set for Fresno. It will be Cheney on for Chavez. Try to switch things up towards the top of the formation. 2-man wall, meanwhile, for the Foxes.
You know, Reno fans, we're really enjoying this one. This puts them right back in the mix for that second spot now, only 2 points behind the Foxes if things end like this.
Campo Chavez going the short route. And cleared away by Fresno. They were all over that one.
Yep, training ground move, but as you said, Christopher Fresno sniffed that one out early.
Tencio, right side. Driving in line. Was it deflected? No, a goal kick. And another sub also being listed for Fresno. It will be Yao coming on for his 3rd appearance. We're hearing he's going to come in for Johnson.
Substitution for Fresno FC, exiting the game, number 9, Jaime Chavez. Entering the game for the Zorros, number 21, Christian Cheney.
Now coming on, he's someone we're still learning a bit about. We talked about him before, playing in Luxembourg most recently, and also in Belgium in his career, but mostly his career happening in the German lower leagues. He came off the bench against Phoenix and San Antonio, did not appear against El Paso, and Coach Smith telling us that's mostly due to the injury to Del Campo, having to take him off. Why Yao did not see time late on in that match.
He's a versatile player, Devin Yao. He can play anywhere across the front line, left, right, or center.
Campo Chavez stayed in play, but Martin on his backside, getting a touch.
Great work there by Elijah Martin. Slid in and didn't give up, though. Was on the ground and had to knock it away from the youngster. Zhao, obviously returning back to the US after spending almost a decade in Europe. See if he can make an immediate impact here in this game. They really need him to do so. Dear.
Martin losing it out of play, and Yao, experienced player, obviously, as we mentioned, but Coach Smith highlighting his power and creative ability, along with those in the attack. Dylan here towards the end line, cutting in, back across, shot coming, make it 3 for Tacoma. Ocampo Chavez gets on the board as well. They are off and running.
Tacoma Defiance goal scored by number 87.
I'm not sure if I would call this result shocking at the moment, but definitely surprising. He's the man, Dylan again. Already got 2 goals, and now with the assist. Lovely cutback pass, and what a finish by Ocampo Chavez with authority at the left foot, leaving Cochran with no chance.
Dylan making his case for player of the week. A brace and an assist, and putting a clinic on. And final third passing is Tacoma. A yellow card was issued as Ocampo Chavez went into the stands to greet someone. But all Tacoma at this point in minute 70.
And I mentioned goal difference earlier. Now with his 3-goal deficit here for Fresno, only 1 goal ahead of Reno, and still even on wins with 16. So Reno now undoubtedly right back in this race for the 2nd spot. And good traveling support from the Sounders.
Ocampo Chavez, great moment for him. Homegrown signing for the Sounders in May. Joined the academy back in 2016. That's goal number 6 in the 2019 campaign. This is exactly what Adam Smith highlighted to us this week in our phone call. He said that he was worried about Tacoma, their fresh legs, their youth, able to play the full 90, despite his side seeing 3 matches now in a week. The foul was called back the other way here against Villanueva. And that's what we've seen so far. The second half, things have really opened up before Tacoma as well, and on the counterattack, that's where they've pounced against Fresno.
Listen, this young team is full of talent. There's a reason they're either on an MLS roster or being close to an MLS roster, because they've been scouted as being elite talent. Yeah, they've had a rough season, and obviously interchanging in the team, and here come Fresno now.
Shot coming and going just wide. Goal kick as Cheney gets his first chance of the match.
There's just no question that the individual talent, especially of that front 3 with Ocampo Chavez, and we said Popiao is now off the field, but Danny Leyva quietly had a decent game. He's been a little understated tonight in the middle of the park, but obviously set up that 2nd goal. Justin Dillon didn't quite get the assist. Well, got the assist on the last one, now 2 goals. 24, he's the old head on this team.
Ocampo Chavez as well, getting an assist with his goal on the 2nd Dillon tally. Tacoma, they had 5 goals scored over their last 5 matches, 3 tonight. Still time in this match, 19 minutes plus stoppage time, but tough road to climb for Fresno. Here comes Dylan, but strong to stop on the tackle. Cochran off his line.
Man wants his hat trick.
The wall and offsides. The flag is up. Ross, that is number 7 on Fresno here tonight.
Yeah, just a little out of sync. Definitely has a big body, big physical presence. A nice flick on there, but just offside. Not sure about that. I don't think it was him. I think it was on the flick, Cheney perhaps.
Knocked on by Dylan. Gefford taking it from the back, and he'll sling it downfield. Gefford working it down the left flank. Fresno on the run. Martin near side. Towards the end line, cuts it back over. They wanted a handball, nothing came, and headed out of play. What an acrobatic play by Burkholz.
Yeah, Elijah Martin with those quick feet got the crossing, and I think it was Alex Villanueva who perhaps might have handled this one. He slid down, let's take another look at it. Oh yeah. Isn't in a completely unnatural position, but when you leave your arm dangling like that, it stops the cross coming in. That could easily have been a penalty.
Hughes off his line, knocks it up, and helped along with his defense to clear it to midfield.
Especially anytime you leave your feet, you're leaving yourself potentially exposed to that.
Yao keeps it alive. Martin on the run, met by Daly, he goes down. The foul is called against Martin.
See the Fresno fans not agreeing with that call, just about. I think Jesse Daly here, he's smiling as he walks away.
The final playoff spots are at stake October 9th when Wednesday Night Soccer returns to ESPN News. Tune in as Birmingham Legion FC fights for the last spot in the East, while upset-minded Hartford Athletic looks to crush those hopes in front of their home faithful. Catch all the drama unfold Wednesday, October 9th on ESPN News. Knocked over, chance coming, sliding, up and in off the right post, make it 4. Leyva adds his name to the tally, and they are pouring in here in the second half.
Now I'm shocked. This Fresno team's in complete free fall. CJ Cochran's very upset about something. Just ran down to halfway to cost the referee. Not the best strike by Danny Leyva with his left foot, but got enough of it and it was well placed. Skid past Cochran.
Cochran actually got a touch there, nearly put it wide. But Danny Leyva and Gonzalez will get the assist there. It's 4-0 Tacoma.
I think some might have predicted a Tacoma victory with the tired legs of Fresno coming into this one, but not 4-0.
Barring a miracle here for Fresno, Tacoma would get 4 points off of the 2 matchups this year against Fresno. That's huge in the table.
And that could be the difference between them getting a home semifinal and having to go on the road.
By number 75, Daniel Leyva.
See on the sideline, Eli Hodzik getting set to come on. And it will be the end of the night for Martin. Villanueva on the near side here at minute 77. It's Gonzalez.
This will be Fresno's first loss at home since May 8th, Sacramento Republic.
Offsides flag goes up on Dillon.
9-0-2 at home since then. So just the wrong time of year for this stretch of 3 games within 8 days, and it's really showing with these Fresno legs, trying to bring on some fresh legs now. With Ella Hudzik coming on.
Comes on the former 3rd-round pick of the Sounders in 2016. the pride of University of Nebraska, Omaha, where he spent 4 years, was the first ever draftee for the MLS out of that university. 2 goals, 2 assists this season, trying to make an impact late on. Right side, here's Yao. Kaffa, flick on, but knocked away by Rogers. Kaffa. Ball sent in, Rogers the header out of there. You have to give credit where it's due. Rogers and Burkholz have been putting out fires left and right with these crosses in all night.
They've been impressive. As I mentioned earlier, that they've given up 19 goals, I think, in the last 5 games, but 0 tonight. Been far the better team.
Campo Chavez, he'll end the night with a goal and an assist. Alec Diaz comes on sporting the same line this season in 14 appearances. Campo Chavez getting the 3rd tally of the day for Tacoma. And watch the strike.
Yeah, beautiful first-time finish from the penalty spot, showing why he belongs on that 20 under 20 list. Impressive night tonight from Alfonso Campo Chavez.
Goal number 6, assist number 2 as he makes way for Diaz. Final about 10 minutes plus stoppage time from Chuck Chancey Park. 4-0 Tacoma.
Key here in Fresno in these last 10 minutes is not to give up another goal. Make the goal difference even. What a lovely back heel.
Yao strikes it wide though. Put on a platter by Lawal, but can't make it count.
Well, unfortunately for Fresno, that finish was about as bad as that back heel was good. Lovely back heel by Lawal. It's a good 6 yards wide in the end.
Cheney on the left side towards the PK spot wanted another pass over, but no look coming, and it's back to Muse with the goal kick. Over 3,800, 3,819 joining us here at Chuck Chancey Park this evening. Unfortunately, Tacoma greeting them with 4 goals this evening. Hodzik taking it to the back with Cochran. Leyva through the traffic, but the true test, Ross, may be for the Tacoma side, and they're building for their pro careers. If they can hold on to this clean sheet, and, you know, very mature result against an experienced squad like Fresno, you're up 4-0 late.
Yeah, they've been few and far between the clean sheets this season for Tacoma, but again, they've already had more, came into this game with more points than they did last season. It's something to build on. I'd say the core of this team will likely be together again next year.
Tackle coming from Kitahara, and he gets the stop. Back with Cooper. Here come the Foxes. Hodzik, right side. The look for Yao, end line. He'll play it back over, headed away. Had it briefly, and it's a corner kick for Fresno. corner kick for the home side, looking to stave off the shutout. Back post headed down, up and in, and there it goes. No clean sheet for Tacoma. On the board go Fresno, some life late here in the 84th.
Now it's a shame that Tacoma gave up the clean sheet, but that could be a key goal in the end for Fresno. We talked about in this goal difference battle that might turn into with Reno. Let's take another look at it. It's a well-delivered corner right into the danger area, and nobody even wondering about Cheney, and that's a good header.
Clinical finish on the corner kick. Back post, no one covering him, and Cheney puts it home. 4-1 now, Tacoma.
Yeah, we talked about Tacoma's susceptibility to the aerial cross, and that was an example there. Nobody marking the big man at the back post.
Atencio coming out for Herbert Robinson Garcia, the 23-year-old Mexican player, signing on September 6th, previously playing in the Mexican 3rd Division, as it's a corner kick the other way, this time for Tacoma. Fans of USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Here's Robinson, fresh on. He'll get after that one, but it sails out of the box.
And on the best corner there. See Alex Cooper now popping up all over the field on the right side now. Just trying to get something going. A couple of these goals back and again perhaps perfect that goal difference battle if it comes down to that with Reno. Lovely turn by Caffrey, but it's not Capacufa, excuse me.
And line, Yao in there, slots it over, brought down, scooped up and out. It looked like a handball on Leyva, but nothing coming, it's just a corner kick.
Watch Alex Burke holds at the end here with a clean lunge right at the last second to knock this ball away. Right there, yeah, had to get that sliding tackle, otherwise that ball was going inside the near post. And another ball off the hand, that was a little more accidental there than the first one they wanted to call on, but Fresno putting the pressure on here. We've seen stranger things if they can get that second goal.
Ball lofted in, back post, Dylan the header. Strong ended up getting a shot there, but it went wide. Fresno again will be back home next Saturday against Los Dos. And finish off the season on the 19th at Orange County. Tacoma, 3 more matches after today. Next Saturday against Switchbacks. They have 3 in their final 7 days of the regular season. Also with a trip to Isotopes Park and New Mexico United on the docket, and Austin Bold FC. Ali Hodsick out of the back. Yao deflecting it back, past Zamora, and he couldn't keep it in play. Gailey slowly walking over to take the throw in. Tacoma holds on, barring a miracle, to their first road victory here in 2019. Hodzik, back to Strong, some pressure coming from Robinson. Gonzalez couldn't keep it in play, throwing on the near side for Fresno.
to be sure Adam Smith will perhaps give his men a couple of days off after this one to recover from these 3 games, and they'll have to go back to the drawing board a little bit and try and get themselves back in a good mental state. And they had their real control over the 2nd spot coming into this match, and expecting to pick up at least a point, but now things are wide open once again. Cooper, oh, good save.
Just going off the hands of Muse for the save. Another corner kick for Fresno, as Rogers got the initial touch, thought he had help, but instead it was a drive into the box.
Just taking another look at that chance from Cooper. It was a bit of a poor giveaway in the end from Tacoma. A good left-footed strike forced Muse into a nice low save to his left-hand side. We've got a bit of a mess in the box here, but the ball's away and out of play for a goal kick, it seems.
Final few minutes ticking off. Tacoma looking to make a statement here in the USL Championship. Sailing out of play, back to Muse, a wishful one from outside. Here's Yao. We'll be having 3 minutes of stoppage time coming. Too little, too late for Fresno here at home.
Congrats to Tacoma, picking up their first away win in 16 chances.
Back the other way, shot, but saved by Muse. He's come up strong here tonight.
Nice ripped effort there. Almost bounced just in front of Muse. It would have been really awkward if it had. It just got to him before it bounced. Not the best of clearances there, straight up in the air.
Handball the call against the wall. It's a free kick.
The young guys have certainly deserved this one. The score may be a little flattering, but there's no doubt they deserve the victory. Come in here with the energy, with the passion and the press, and again soaked it up for the first 15 minutes or so. As we got the late yellow card here for somebody.
And we'll be on Ala Hodsik, who came on off the bench, his 3rd of the season.
A yellow card has been issued to Fresno FC number 13, Amir Alihaji.
And Adam Smith relieving the pitch. We're in stoppage time.
He's apparently seen enough. I don't think he has anybody in particular to blame. And referee has had a reasonable game, I would think. There's been a couple of curious decisions, but no more than the usual. And Coach Adam Smith probably walking away before he says or does something silly and gets himself suspended. A little rough spot here for this team. But obviously still sitting reasonably pretty in that 2nd spot. Even the 3rd position wouldn't be the end of the world, especially after missing out last year completely.
A disappointing result, and what a week. 3 losses for Fresno in 3 matches. And things looking a whole lot different now on the table because of it. Reno a bit closer, and Reno will be 2 points back with a match in hand, I believe.
Especially discouraging coming off that, that amazing win over Phoenix. What a game that was. And you expected, we said, perhaps a little bit of a downswing out, perhaps for one game, but these 3 games just came really at a bad time at the end of the season. A tired team, perhaps played their butts off so far this season, but it's not the end of the world. They got time to sort it out.
Here's Robinson. Lets it off. Couldn't find Gonzalez. And there is the final whistle. What a victory for Tacoma. 4-1 on the road. And a disappointing night for Fresno as they're back to the drawing board. They had one goal though, and that will be our man of the match for Fresno, brought to you by El Mexicano. And it is Cheney, had that header off the corner kick.
Yeah, there wasn't too many candidates for the man of the match who was stepping up tonight, so I think you really have to give it to that man, Christian Cheney. It was a decent header. He was left wide open, but it was a good finish. And plenty of work to do for the boys from Fresno.
Kept the hopes alive late for Fresno, but unfortunately their third loss in a row as they'll enter a new week after a tough stretch. 3 matches in 7 days. They go down by 3 goals, 4-1. We'll recap with highlights and stats coming up next.
Tonight's
Welcome back here into Chuck Chansey Park, and unfortunately for Fresno, not celebrating here tonight. They remain where they stand in the table, unable to clinch that home playoff match. Instead, it's Tacoma celebrating their first road victory of the season. 4-1, they win it.
Yeah, I think the only thing Fresno will be celebrating this week is over. Get a chance to sort of refresh and reset things. And yeah, Fresno looked bright early, but here's the first goal. So nice little first touch, and just using his physicality there was Dylan, and had plenty of work to do. Nice little step over and a quality left-footed finish for the 24-year-old.
His night obviously would not be done at that, but watch the strike on the left boot, curling just on by Cochran. And it would be the start of an electric night for Tacoma. They would stand tall at times. Ellis Hayden with this rocket off the crossbar, but foreshadowing too little from Fresno.
Yeah, that was the one really moment of razzle-dazzle that really Fresno had tonight. This was the second goal, and it was almost a slow motion. Everybody sort of stood there and looked, and Martin kind of got caught out of position, and Sam Strong didn't have his best match this evening, obviously filling in for the injured Ramon Del Campo.
Here's the assist to go along with the brace for Dylan.
Yep, looked up, nice cutback pass, and Ocampo Chavez with a quality finish.
Striking at home, Ocampo Chavez as well, a goal and an assist tonight. One more from Tacoma.
Yeah, poor giveaway there, and a bit of a scuffed finish as he fell by Daniel Ava, but it was sort of in the perfect position, and CJ Cochran perhaps could have done a little better on that one.
There's the final goal of the match. It went to Fresno and eliminated the clean sheet for Tacoma. But here's the stats. 25 shots for Fresno. They get 1 goal out of it, 4 for Tacoma off 9 shots.
Yeah, but how many of those 25 shots were real quality chances? Only a couple, you'd have to say. And yep, Tacoma Defiance with a very deserved 4-1 victory.
Now for our McCarty Insurance moment of the match. And it was the Fresno goal keeping hopes alive late.
Yeah, we did talk about Tacoma's susceptibility to the aerial cross, and there it was there. A good finish in the end, a good header inside the near post.
For our save of the match, presented by BMW. Stop by and test drive the all-new 2019 BMW 3 Series at BMW Fresno. It's Cochran point-blank stop.
Yeah, it was a good run by Ocampo Chavez. He was given the left-footed shot by Strong, and did look like a great save by Cochran, but he had to be in the right position and keep his height. Keeper could easily have gone down and given that one up.
And this, the freeze frame of a physical battle, the zoom image of the match.
Yeah, you can see that both players using their arms well, and good shot.
Ellis Hayden in a battle on that wing the entire night, but a frustrating night ends for Fresno in favor of Tacoma, putting 4 on the board, getting their first road win of the season. The points really affecting things here in the table, but Tacoma 4 points off 2 matches against Fresno here this season. I'd like to thank our entire crew alongside me, Ross Davenport, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Chris Bukovic. We'll see you next time for more USL Championship action. Tacoma winning 4-1 over Fresno at Chuck Chansey Park. Have a great night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.